On this episode of Small Town Gen X.
Like right when I watched that, I was like,
I did
"You're a
too.
dick."
I did. I was like, what a dick.
Hello? Oh, do I have a story for you? Oh, do tell. Hello and welcome to the podcast Small Town Gen X. I'm Kate DeCoste.
And I'm Lana Larson.
And we are very
Excited. Is it?
It is exciting. Yes. I think this is going to be a fun little episode.
Yeah.
We've done our homework.
Yes, we did.
And we're going to talk a little bit about after school specials.
They were the worst things ever.
I know. And I feel
I can't believe that, do people take this seriously?
I know.
Because
maybe they did.
They might
maybe
have.
back then, and now when we watch them, we're like,
oh my gosh.
what the heck?
What is this?
What was so funny is when I was like, kind of got addicted to watching it, I'd be like, oh, I want to see that because it would show who's in them.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I want to watch that. And sometimes I would like fast forward and, do a little thing. But how many now stars
yep.
are in them?
When they were younger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of probably like launched their
Career.
careers a little bit, like help them be who they are now.
Yeah, maybe.
And if you don't know, this is kind of interesting. So ABC, because I always thought after school special, like that's what comes to my head. ABC had the after school special, and those ran from 1972 to 1997.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they won 51 Emmy Awards and 4 Peabody Awards. I was like, when I read that last night and I said it to Tim, and he was like, well, I guess I didn't realize they were so good.
Or, yeah. I mean, I don't think.
Or that they would even be up for an award.
Right, up for an award.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
those 80s ones are,
they're cheese.
Yeah,
They're so cheese.
They are.
So then so ABC had that one, and NBC also and CBS had their own version. Okay. NBC's was called Special Treat.
Yes, I don't remember that one at all.
I don't either.
And
they said it ran from 1975 to 1986.
Okay.
And it replaced that name, I guess, replaced oh no, it wasn't that one. It was CBS I'm thinking of. But this one, I guess it only ran to 1986, so maybe that's why we don't
remember it.
Right. But I guess once that was canceled or whatever, they had a show called Main Street.
Okay.
And it was a discussion program for teens, and it was hosted by Bryant Gumbel.
Oh.
I don't remember that either.
I don't remember that either.
Nope. I'm like, was that aired here in Nebraska?
Yeah, I don't
remember. And it would have been after school, I'm sure,
like
afternoon if it replaced it or whatever. And then CBS, theirs was called School Break Special. And that one ran from 1978 to 1996. And it was first named Afternoon Playhouse.
Oh.
Which is a little weird, I think. And they changed the name in the 1984-1985 season.
Okay.
And when I was reading all about this, it said that its most notable made-for-TV film was Revenge of the Nerd in 1983.
Yeah.
And then the movie Revenge of the Nerds premiered in 1984.
Oh,
so it was probably already in the works and everything, even when that aired.
Right.
It was probably filming or something when it
Probably,
aired.
yeah.
But yeah, so
that's funny.
I guess that would get if you were talking about that or something, someone might be like thinking you're talking about one or the other. Yeah. I kind of want to watch Revenge of the Nerd.
Yeah,
just
to see what exactly it was about. I mean, if it was like Revenge of the Nerds?
or like
probably a high school something
version.
about
Yes, probably about bullying. I'm guessing maybe. So I don't know if any of those other ones, if NBC or CBS, if they won any awards, or not. I didn't read, didn't you just see it. I just saw that ABC did. But I do remember watching them probably in the late 80s, early 90s. And they were after school, but remember, like, for us, because they'd be on at like 4:00.
Right.
Or 4:00 Eastern time. I think it was like 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock for us. So by the time we got home, it was like halfway over. So maybe that's why we don't really remember them as much, because we'd only see like half an hour of it or whatever. I don't know why they did that. It's like, well, everyone here, why did they just have it on?
Why didn't they have it at 4:00 our
here?
Time?
Just do. Right. Yeah. So So
I remember the after school, the ABC after school special. I mean, I remember that. Like I said, I don't know how much I watched it at home, because like you said, it was 3:00 or
right.
But I remember in high school, we watched them in health class.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yep. It would be, all the different kinds. That was, movie day we could watch. But yeah, they were pretty. I remember we were all made fun of them. It's like.
Do you remember like which ones they were?
I don't remember all of them, but I mean, I'm trying to think of who was in one that were like, oh my gosh, she's famous. It's like, but I want to say I've seen the Scott Baio one with the drugs, where he's on drugs.
Okay.
I know that there were some about teen pregnancy, drugs, drinking, things that you would do as a teenager.
Right, right.
So,
and you watched them in like you remember watching them in health class. Maybe we were in the same health class. I don't know. All I remember about like that health class or like that teacher was when I took the like pregnancy or baby class. What was that?
Yes,
class? Parenting. Yes.
We watched him in parenting.
And I remember watching some of those and like they were having babies and stuff, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were real life, though. Those videos
those were real life. Those weren't. They weren't. That's all I can remember. Maybe I was just more like tortured and tormented by those. Yeah. I don't remember getting to have movie day
after school specials. It was only like a half hour, an hour, something like that. They were, but
yeah. So it was actually perfect for a class,
right?
Because you could watch them in one class period. Yeah.
Yep.
Was it something that you were talking about? Like if it's like, we're talking about drugs,
right?
So we're going to watch the Scott Baio special.
Because I remember one on bulimia and anorexia. And we watched, there were specials on those. And then we watched the Karen Carpenter special.
Oh, gotcha.
So there was a lot of things like
I remember that movie. Was that like a made for TV movie?
I think so.
Like for night. Like on Sunday night.
On Sunday night, yeah.
Yeah. I used to love those.
Yep, I think it was.
Well, the episode that we're going, or not episode, I guess it was a made for TV movie.
Yeah.
The one we're going to watch is called I Think I'm Having a Baby, and it starred Jennifer Jason Leigh, Helen Hunt, Tracy Gold, and then it did have a very kind of like a cameo appearance by Ali Sheedy before I think she was famous. So but I think what we should do is, this was an ABC after school special. So I think what we should do first is we should play the intro music.
Oh,
so everybody can
maybe that'll ring a bell.
Yeah. Take them back.
It did to me. I was like, I know that music.
So here it is. So hopefully that brought some of you guys back into after school specials.
Yeah.
So the next clip that we're going to talk about and you're going to hear in just a few minutes is we are introduced to Lori, who is kind of the main character.
Right.
And she's played by Jennifer Jason Leigh and her best friend. And they are in Jennifer Jason Leigh's bedroom. And they're just kind of gabbing like girls do. But this kind of sets up pretty much the story.
Right.
What's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know why you want to let your hair grow. Because you think you look like Phoebe the cat. Oh, I think she's gross.
Peter likes it.
I have to leave early tomorrow, so give yourself enough time to pack a lunch in the morning. Carrie, bed. 10 minutes. What have you done to your eyes?
I saw Peter kiss Phoebe 2 times. It's been nice to have someone. Go to all the dances. Have something to do every Saturday night. I think Phoebe's lucky.
So, Lana, do you remember putting on wigs and taking a ruler
and trying to kill
smacking
it? No. Do you?
I don't. And I know we were like, oh my gosh, that girl's laugh, but I'm sure people probably said that about me.
About us?
Yeah, and us, like our laughs.
They're like, Jesus.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh my God, that girl. And then I was like, oh God, that's me.
That laugh was annoying.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, if we annoy you.
If you thought that it was I hope you don't think I'm a seal. That's kind of what she sounds like a little bit.
Exactly.
But I felt like that kind of like does like kind of set up.
Right.
You can tell that Lori loves Peter.
Yes, and she wants a boyfriend.
She wants a boyfriend, so she has things to do on Saturday nights. Yeah. And I love that they have little Tracy Gold in there. Where she's like, you know,
the little sister,
and how she's like, I saw Phoebe kissing
and Peter 2 times.
Yes.
Peter's a stud,
I guess. Yeah, at least in Lori and Phoebe's eyes.
Right.
So, the next clip really shows Tracy Gold, and it's probably one of my favorite clips of the whole movie.
No,
Where all these come from?
it's only 3. Careful, Ralph scratches a little.
Ralph?
Yeah, see, that's Ralph, that's Fred, and that's Sissy.
You may end up with a lot of babies.
Babies? Oh, no babies. You're going to have to give 2 of them back. Stephen, please don't encourage her.
Well, I'll put up a divider in the pan, and that way they'll be separated.
Fine.
Hi.
Ah, cute, aren't they?
Hi.
You know, I did have babies. I want them all to be brown like Ralph.
Well, in my experience, the tall rabbits always get the girls.
How do they make babies?
They mate.
Well, how?
Well, they make love. And then 6 weeks later, the babies come.
How do they make love? Do rabbits kiss?
Carrie, you are one weird kid. Did you ever see chickens kissing?
You say chicken, I said rabbit!
Carrie!
This totally shows the after school special like format.
Right.
Formula, I guess, of like the metaphor.
Right.
Like those bunnies and the
That
talk
was what it was,
of making love and
kissing.
kissing and how does it happen?
Yep.
How do they have babies? It's definitely like
Right.
Yeah, the story within the story.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And I wonder how many times they had to like do that.
Do that.
And I'm wondering with Tracy Gold's age, did she know how they mate?
Right.
Was she really asking?
She might have been.
You know?
That might have been part of the thing too, you know, that age.
Right.
You don't know.
And I thought it was interesting how the boy was said making love.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, maybe in the 80s, they did say that more often as teenagers.
I think they did.
Maybe, because I don't think any boy now would use that term.
No, I don't think so either. Maybe somebody who grew up in the 80s, but that would be a man now.
Yes. Or was it like, well, we were talking about this in the last episode of like how they can get away with things.
Right.
So maybe they couldn't
say certain
words or something, or they didn't want the kid to say certain words or whatever, because they don't ever get into it. And I don't think he actually knows how to do it.
Right.
Like how it actually, the bunnies happen.
Right.
Because he uses the words mating and then he says making love and that's it. Because she's like, but how? But how do you, you know, she doesn't.
And nowadays, the boy would say it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To tell the little kid.
Yeah.
Or the little kid would probably know.
Yes, because they'd seen it on something.
Right.
Or heard an older sibling.
Right.
Yes.
Say something.
So this next clip, I thought this part of the show or movie was just very interesting. And I know when we talked about how we had a parenting class, so we had talked about certain things, but I don't even remember talking too much about like sex ed. I know like when we were in grade school, we had to be like,
separated
and stuff. And
well, not like
not separated,
well,
but
separated for the day,
the program or whatever it was.
An hour or two.
Yeah. So the girls learned about girls
things, and the boys learned about boys. Right. And I can remember everybody always asked, "What'd you learn? What'd you learn?"
Yes.
You know, it was because when we got back into class and everybody was.
Yes.
I remember talking about that.
I do too. But I don't really remember something like this. How it would be like super, like it was very like in this scene we're gonna watch how like casual they're talking. So we'll play the clip and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Each of these subjects is part of what we're going to be calling in this class anyway, the experience of adult living. Maybe. Each of them requires a choice, a decision. Now look at the list. Tell me, which one of those subjects do you think is going to come up a little sooner than the rest? Any idea? How about sex? Yeah, like where and when. Yeah. Let me try a little experiment. I'm going to say the word sex. Say the first thing that pops into your mind. Bruce?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wonderful. Jason, you got a better idea? Come on, sex.
Please?
Please, okay. Give me another one. Come on, sex.
Problems.
Good. Jackie? Sex.
Love.
Love? Give me another one.
Pressure.
Pressure. Alyssa?
Sin.
Sin. Another.
Scared.
Okay, Michael.
The pill.
Another one. Sex. Come on.
Movie.
Lori?
Kissing.
Okay, give me another one.
Close.
Good. Okay, Scott?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on. You know.
Confusing.
Confusing.
It's confusing.
Confusing. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Listen to what we got here. We got the pill, we got movies, we got scared. Confusing. Getting a lot of messages, aren't you? You get them from television, you get them from advertising, you get them from your parents, you get them from religion, you get them from your own bodies. Sorting out those messages takes a lot of thinking, a lot of talking.
Yeah, but some things you just can't talk about. You just have to feel it.
Ooh, gotta feel it, huh? 1 million. 1 million. That number represents the number of teenage girls that will be pregnant this year. Unless you start to think and take responsibility for decisions about your own sexuality instead of just feeling it. That number breaks down to about 2 out of 20. It means 2 girls in this class could be pregnant this year. Those of you who'd like to be pregnant this year, would you raise your hand?
Okay, Lana, did you ever have a discussion like that?
With my teacher?
With your teacher?
No.
In class?
No.
With
Did
any
you?
of the... No, I do not remember anything like that. That was so like very, I mean, I guess it should be casual talk, but that was just very, like the teacher was very interesting, I should say.
Yeah.
And I know it's like a 30-minute program and they need to get in their
everything
message.
that they want. Yes.
Yeah. But again, it's interesting that what happens later, this is all leading up to it.
Yes.
That it just happens that she's in a like a sex ed type class. Well, they call it like adult living experience or something.
They said
like
it right
that.
at the beginning. Yeah.
And he has like different topics they're going to talk within that. But the only topic we ever hear is about
sex.
About sex ed. And I thought it was interesting how the boys, what words
they used compared to what the girls used.
I think that would still be today.
Yes.
I think that would still be maybe different words.
Different words, definitely.
But the same kind of like.
Right. The guys would be like, oh, yeah.
I'm going to do it. Yeah.
And the girls would be more reserved,
like,
they'd
be, and I could say someone being like, well, I want to be close to my boyfriend, and where the guys are like, I want to do my girlfriend because she's so hot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in that sense, I can see. And then it was interesting how they were talking about, like the, what do you call it? The stats, I guess.
Oh,
of pregnancy.
Yep. 1 million girls.
Yeah.
Would be pregnant.
So then they were saying
year.
that it could be 2
out of 20. Out of their class.
And we find out later there is somebody in that class
that had a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll hear from her soon. But the next clip we're going to listen to, we kind of fast forward a little bit. There's a party that Phoebe, she's throwing for Peter because it's his birthday, right?
Yes.
But she asks
Lori,
to
make all the food.
Yeah,
or make
she's
the
like,
cake.
"Will you make the cake?" But then she's like, "Well, can you help with the
Can
potato
you help?
salad?"
Yes.
And it cracked me up. What kind of I was like, is this kind of the parties they had in the 80s? Like they went and they had like picnic food,
right? Who would do? I don't remember. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know.
But I guess they want that they're teenagers and they get to like be out by themselves,
right?
And they're all getting to hang out. And I feel like this was probably in California, so it was probably good weather and all of that. Because
Lori did wear a blanket.
That's true. So it might have gotten a little chilly,
but it could have been California.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So something happens during the party, and we're gonna listen to that now.
You know what Phoebe wants? Someone to drive her to school, take her to her parties. She doesn't even care what I want. When I'm out on the field, she cheers. My dad cheers. They don't know what it's like.
Your dad must be proud.
Right. Having a beer with us good buddies. But I make one mistake and he's on me.
I know.
You know.
How you feel?
You do?
Sometimes when you're down, when you've lost a game or something, you go and you sit alone in the bleachers. I see you.
When?
Lots of times. You go and you sit alone and you think about things. Well, I just like that. When there are things that I can't tell people.
You mean you just sit there and you watch me and you didn't say anything? Cold? Don't be so shy, okay? You're a sweet kid. Sweet 15 and never been kissed. I don't mean by kids. I mean really been kissed.
right, Lana. So we got to see the I don't know, is it the problem? I don't know, like, you know how they have like the resolution,
right,
and like the lead up, and was this the I don't know.
This was I don't know. This was
the action.
The action.
Oh yeah.
They were getting it on.
They were getting it on.
Yeah. Well, they didn't show it, but
they didn't. So,
but we knew what was happening.
Yes, and what we didn't tell you guys prior to letting you listen to this is at the party, I think Lori gets tired.
Yes.
And she's cold, and she's not really talking to anybody.
No,
like people
she
say
didn't.
like thanks for the cake.
Thanks for your cake was good.
Yeah.
I mean, is it talking about cake or what?
Or what are we talking about? Yes. But she was in Peter's car, like the back of his car. I don't know why she chose Peter's car, but she
and
did.
where'd she get the blanket? Was it in Peter's
Maybe
car?
It was in Peter's car. I don't know. And then Peter gets mad. He has a little tiff with Phoebe, and he gets in the car, and I don't think he sees her until he starts driving a little bit.
Right.
And then he just stops and doesn't say like, "Hey, what are you doing?" or anything.
Right.
He just gets out of his car. And then so she has to get out and follow him.
Yes.
And with her blanket.
With her blanket wrapped around her.
And he is upset at Phoebe.
Upset.
And then he kind of talks about his dad.
Right.
And
then she talks about stalking him on the bleachers after a game.
Yes. She talks about how she watches him.
Yes.
She sees him.
Yes. And he didn't know.
And he did not know.
She didn't tell him.
And that just like turned him on.
Yeah.
Like I would have been like, the fuck you looking at me for? I'd have been like, I'm getting back in my car.
Yeah, I would
You're
be
staying
like,
here.
I would be like, awkward.
But he's all like,
yeah. He's like, ooh, you watch me.
You watch me, do you?
Just sitting there on the bleachers. Yeah, that was a little weird, I thought.
That was a little weird, but then that basically turned into him being like, oh, maybe he thinks that she knows him. Right. She understands him.
Yes.
And makes her feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says the words. She says, I love you. I always have.
Yes.
And then they kiss. It goes to commercial.
Yeah, this could be a movie, or this could be a show about stalkers instead of I think I'm pregnant.
I think you're right.
I mean, were there no stalkers in the 80s and 90s?
I wonder if there's a stalker ABC
there might
after school
be.
special.
There might be.
Or
We'll have
a
to look.
CBS
Yeah.
or an NBC special treat.
Yeah. Here's your special treat. You have a stalker. Watch out.
Oh my gosh. Oh. So the commercial, once they like start kissing, she says she loves him, and then it cuts to commercial. It's pretty much, it's pretty much implied that they have sex. We do not obviously see that on the after school special.
No.
And then the next scene, we won't play. We'll just tell you about it. She and her best friend, the best friend must live close by.
She must.
She's always there.
Because she's there and
it's before school. But I'm also like, does everybody live close by? Because
because they're all walking.
They're all walking, and she's going to wait for Peter.
She is going to wait for Peter.
She says that they're going together.
I have another question about this. Why is Peter walking to school when he has a car?
Right.
You know?
That is weird. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I was like,
why is he walking to school? He has a car.
He has a car. But
they needed it for the dramatic,
I guess, because
Peter
he ignores her.
He does.
So.
And she obviously sees that.
Right.
And she's a little upset, but the best friend's right there. And walks
even though
with
the
her.
best friend says, I'm going, you walk with whoever you want. Yep.
But then she sees what happens. Yep. So she's a very good best friend. Right. We see that throughout the whole show, that she's a very good best friend. Yes. And then he ignores her again at school.
During lunch.
Yes. And this is when then she tells her best friend, I don't feel good.
Yes.
And we're going to show you the next clip.
Okay.
Are you still having that stomach crud? Aren't you eating anything?
I'm just nervous. I have to talk to him.
I wish you'd just forget him.
I can't.
Why?
Because I love him.
What? How can you love somebody you hardly even know?
You don't understand about love, okay?
Well, if it makes you act so crazy and get mono, I don't want to.
I didn't have mono.
Excuse me. Flu.
Marcia, I didn't have the flu.
Then what's wrong?
I think I'm pregnant. I wanted to tell you 100 times.
I don't...
I thought you'd hate me if you knew.
Since when do I hate you? Did I hate you when you knocked out my first front tooth with a sand shovel? Are you sure?
I think. I mean, it's not just, you know. I've been getting these cravings for these strange foods.
What strange foods?
Like banana sandwiches.
Come on, we've been eating banana sandwiches all our
With
lives.
mayonnaise.
Are you gonna tell him?
I have to. He'll know what to do.
You can't just walk up to him and say a thing like that.
I have to.
Okay, so then we're not playing this clip because it's not really, you don't hear anything,
Okay.
but she does go
And confront Peter.
Yes, and it's at lunch. She's like with some friends, and then they walk away
Yes.
and they talk, and you really just see
You just see
it.
them, yes, their actions.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the point of view of the friend or something
Right.
watching. And then she comes over. You can tell that Peter is not happy.
No.
And she comes over, and at first she's just like, he didn't say anything. He didn't do, anything. But
Right.
then she reveals what he did say. And
Mhm.
he says, which I was like, what? He says how, if she tells
Yes.
that, that this was him or whatever, that he'll get 3 guys to get to say that they were with her.
Mhm.
What a dick.
Yeah. That's a dick move.
It's a dick move, and yes, total
Yeah.
dick. Like right when I watched that, I was like,
I did
you're a
too.
dick.
I did. I was like, what a dick.
But you have to have that struggle of,
Right. Well, I think that probably in the 80s, that's what a lot of guys did too.
Well, and he has a girlfriend.
Right.
He has Phoebe.
Right.
And you see Phoebe with him.
She's with him
for a little bit
Yep.
right before Lori goes and talks to her. So he's like, shit, Phoebe, who does my homework.
Right. Who does all this stuff for me.
Yeah. And you're like a freshman. We find out she's a freshman and he must be a senior because he's talking about college.
Right.
So yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with that. He just wants to go to college and have Phoebe still do his homework.
Yep. He plays football. Wasn't he going to play football in college?
I think
or
so.
No? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. So the next clip we're going to listen to is when Lori goes to the clinic.
Lori McIntyre? Try not to be nervous.
First, let's talk about the procedure. We'll do a urine pregnancy test today, and we should have the results Saturday. If we need a double check, we'll do a blood test and an exam. But let's say that you are pregnant. Have you thought about what you want to do?
No. I just don't know.
I guess this pregnancy wasn't planned.
It just happened.
You never talked about contraception with your boyfriend?
I love somebody.
And I was afraid to say no.
Is that somebody here with you today? Well, he wasn't afraid to say no, was he? Let's go over what choices you'll have if you're pregnant. If you're against abortion under any circumstances, you'll continue your pregnancy and make a decision whether you want to keep it or give it up for adoption. If you think that abortion is a personal decision made with the help of your doctor, we're here to help you. Talk it over with someone. If there isn't anyone, I'm here. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Come on and we'll do the test now.
Okay, Lana, so do you think that she's like at a kind of like a Planned Parenthood?
I would say.
Because she's not her own doctor.
Right.
She obviously like this woman that's, I don't know if she's the nurse or the
nurse
doctor.
or doctor, right?
They don't really say.
No.
But you can tell that they don't know each other.
Right.
And you had said something that was interesting while we were watching it is she's 15.
Right.
And she's there
by herself.
Without
her parents.
Without a parent.
Yeah.
She's with her friend.
Yeah.
And
insurance.
But then I'm wondering, well, is that why, if it is like a Planned Parenthood,
yeah,
you might be able to do that.
You might, yep, probably.
And you don't have to
have a parent
or insurance. It was interesting too, because I did look up the other day, because I was wondering when I was watching this, when did pregnancy, like home pregnancy tests
come out? Yeah.
And I guess they were out in the 80s, but maybe she doesn't know. Or maybe she doesn't want to be seen buying one, or maybe she doesn't have the money to buy one.
Right.
Or she just, someone will see her and tell mom,
right.
or tell people at school, because she has to wait. Like, she goes back. We'll see that later. But
she gets
her results, and she doesn't. Did they say? I can't remember if it was like a week or something.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Can you imagine though? You have to waiting that long.
Yeah, Lori
eating her banana sandwiches
with mayonnaise. Waiting.
I felt like the nurse or doctor, whichever she is, or both.
Yeah.
It was interesting the things she was saying, because you can definitely tell her dialogue was very like, I'm giving this information about like, what to do, and this obviously wasn't planned.
Right.
It was
because she was 15, so I doubt she was planning.
Right. And her boyfriend, she made a comment that her boyfriend wasn't there.
Right. With her, and Lori said something like, I love someone and I did it. Right. I didn't want to say no.
Right.
And she says, your boyfriend, or, he didn't say no, or, he was like,
sure. And he's not here.
Right.
To help you in this situation. Right. And he said yes, obviously, too. Yeah. So, yeah, takes two to tango. So this next scene we're gonna watch is back in the classroom, back in that class that they're supposed to be talking about adult experiences, but all they talk about is sex. And this person in this movie, she isn't like one of the stars.
Nope.
But she becomes very big soon after this is over. Mm-hmm. It's Ali Sheedy, and she has a really good monologue we're going to listen to.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do? Call a girl up for a date and say, by the way, come prepared.
That may be a hard thing to do, but it's a lot harder having a baby to feed, change, and take care of when you get home, like I do. And having to decide between buying a box of diapers and some lip gloss because there's never enough money for both is a real bummer. Talking about sex is hard. It was a lot easier just thinking, oh, it's never going to happen to me, like I did. But that was a really big mistake. Last week, Mr. Fenning said something about how 2 girls in this class could be pregnant this year.
And I guess I could be counted as one of them.
So yeah, Ali Sheedy did a really good job. Her dramatic monologue letting us know that
she had a baby.
She is a teen mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she has to decide if she's going to get diapers or lip gloss.
Yeah.
I totally was like I was like, okay, well, that's an after school special dialogue. And also probably what teenagers think about. Like,
yeah,
I can't get that.
I can't get that. What I want because
right, because I have to buy diapers and formula. And then she says, like, the teacher had said that could be two teen pregnancies, and she could be counted as one
of those.
And we see Lori be like,
oh
crap, I might be two.
I'm number 2.
Yeah. So in this next episode or next clip, we find out Lori goes back to the clinic for her results.
Marcia?
I'm not.
Not?
You were lucky this time, Lori.
Not?
I think that now you understand the seriousness of sex. You know the choices. It's up to you.
Okay, so Marcia loves her like high-pitched laughs and her not. It's like when she's very excited.
Right.
She gets high-pitched. And she's very excited that she's not pregnant, or that her friend Lori is not pregnant.
Right.
And then the nurse has like a little speech again.
Like again, telling her
she has
be careful.
Information.
Yeah.
And she knows the seriousness of sex.
Right.
And hopefully
unprotected.
Yes. So hopefully Marcia and
Lori
listen.
Yes.
And this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because she's lucky.
She is very lucky.
She is.
And very lucky to have a friend like Marcia.
Very. Even though she's a little loud, little seal-like, she's always there for her.
She's always there for her. She got her back.
Unlike Peter.
Oh, yes, Peter.
Yeah, we're going to see Peter next. Not his Peter.
Not his Peter, but Peter.
Listen, I wanted to help you. I swear I did. So did you take care of it?
It's all right. There's nothing for you to worry about.
I mean, how could you expect me to act? You made a mistake and I'd be stuck for the rest of my life?
Wait. I made a mistake?
Look, a girl has to be smart. I just didn't know. You're a good kid, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you.
How do you expect to do that, Peter?
Well, how'd you like to go to a show with me Saturday night?
Uh-huh. What about Phoebe?
Your hair looks nice this way. You know how to take care of yourself. Sure, I don't mind going out with a freshman. So, it's a date?
No.
What do you mean, no?
I lay awake nights thinking about you. You were so great. You were something special. But it isn't true.
Just where do you come up acting so righteous? You gave me the big come on, remember? You weren't so innocent then. How about if I just spread it around a little bit? You wouldn't like that very much, would you?
I did a really dumb thing. But I did it out of love. Now I know that love is something more. If you say one thing to anybody, I'll tell them Phoebe cheats for you. That won't be good for your scholarship, will it?
I'm not finished with you yet.
I'm finished with you.
You know, I thought maybe Peter would like
grow up.
Yeah, like he would learn, change a little bit.
No,
he did not.
He didn't.
was still like threatening her.
Right.
And saying, you know, because she didn't want to go out with him
again. Right. Well, he knew she was easy.
Right.
But and she learned her lesson.
She did learn her lesson. She knew who he was.
Right. The type of guy.
Yeah. She does say she did a dumb thing, but she did it out of love. And she thought he was one thing. And he is
totally opposite.
Yeah, he is totally the opposite of what she thought he was. And she's like, I don't need you,
right,
Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Or your Peter.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's exactly what she thought.
And she tries to walk away from him. And he's all like, I'm not done with you.
Yeah.
And she says,
grabs her arm and like, listen here, Missy, you're going to go to that movie with me.
Yeah. Because I'm okay dating a freshman.
Yeah, I'm okay dating a freshman. And I'm captain of the football team.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a scholarship. Nobody tells Peter no.
I think that's usually what happens to him.
I think so too.
And he's going to get a rude awakening. Yeah. Well, he got a little taste of his medicine with Lori, and I think he's going to get a rude awakening when he goes to college.
Right.
He's going to flunk out because Phoebe's not going to be there.
Right.
And I'm also like, where's Phoebe in all of this?
I know.
He's all like, yeah, I'll go out with you, because he knows that he thinks
that she will.
She will.
Put out.
Yes. And he's like, yeah, I'll cheat on my girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where she is. You don't see her the rest of the thing. I mean,
no. And you would think she'd probably be in the hall with him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But, because then all the other, like, scenes leading up, she's always, like, with him. But they had to have that little dramatic exchange.
Where they had to be alone.
They had to be alone, and she had to tell him,
leave me alone.
She is done with him.
She is done with him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, Lori.
And then Steven comes and says, oh, well, we don't have that part.
We don't have that part on the clip, but Steven, the neighborhood boy, or the neighborhood kid.
Boy, the kid, yeah. He comes in, he says, take your hands off of her or something, and then does karate.
Yes.
But he doesn't know karate.
He doesn't actually know karate.
But he's trying to threaten Peter with it.
Yes. And Lori says he's not even worth it.
Nope. That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And they leave. Yep. And then the next scene is kind of like your little resolution or whatever, like the fun.
Yeah, the fun, the
after school, lighthearted ending.
Right.
And here that is.
What's going on out there? Uh-oh. You didn't. They didn't.
How many?
6. What was this? A neighborhood project? What are we going to do with 6 more rabbits?
No problem, Mrs. McIntyre.
That's right, Stephen. They're all yours.
Six bunnies.
6 bunnies. Did you think the bunnies were going to come back into this whole thing? Because they were
a part of it.
They were the metaphor.
Yes,
And they got pregnant.
They got pregnant.
Lori did not.
No, but the bunnies,
did. And yes, 6.
And they had 6 of them.
Bunnies. And Mom was upset with not Peter, with Steven
for not putting up the
divider.
Yeah.
Well, Mom should have been paying attention.
Yeah.
Because
why didn't Mom see? She walked out that door every day.
Yeah.
She didn't.
There's no divider. Yeah, and she knew there were opposite sex bunnies in there, and they know what they're gonna do.
Right.
But they got cute little bunnies.
Yeah. Steven has to take all of them home.
He's supposed to take them all home, and they can all laugh about it.
Right.
And that was the end.
That was.
And hopefully the rest of Marcia and Lori's high school career.
Yeah, went smoothly.
Went smoothly without having to go back to the clinic.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like,
oh my God.
I want to know if anyone had watched this, because this was old. Like this was in the 1983 in the 1983. And we were young.
Right.
So we wouldn't have watched this.
No.
And even
unless
if we did,
my sister or your brother were watching it or something.
And even if we would have been like younger than Tracy Gold in it, but we would have been kind of like the Tracy Gold character where we didn't know what the hell was happening.
Going on.
We didn't know how bunnies make babies. Right. We wouldn't know all the stuff. And I'm sure I would have been that annoying where I was constantly in the room.
Listening and asking questions.
And saying that I saw this.
Yeah.
But I want to know if you saw this in 1983.
Or even at school.
Or
anywhere.
Did it make you think more about sex? Like, were you like... All right. I got this information.
Yeah. The nurse or doctor or whatever she was, she gave me good information.
Yeah. Or did you think, why is that teacher talking about that in class? Like,
yeah. Or why was Lori in that car?
Or why was Peter walking to school when he has a car? Or why didn't Lori go to the hospital when she had mono
or the flu or whatever? Yeah. Her mom didn't even make her go to the doctor.
No. But her mom was like, we need to have a special day. We didn't talk about we didn't
show this watch clip, that, but yes, they had a special talk.
Yes. But she wanted to go like to lunch and talk. But Lori said she had a project she had to finish. Well, it was
the test results of her pregnancy.
Yes. Yeah, so I have more questions than answers, I think. Of this after school special.
Right, I'd be asking all that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, thanks for listening.
Let us know what your favorite let us know if there's a
after school special
that we should watch.
Right.
Maybe you know one.
Right.
Or CBS
whatever CBS was and NBC
special treat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Small Town Gen X. Next week, we will be coming at you again with This Week in Gen X History. And during these episodes, we are featuring listeners just like you. So if you would like to be featured, please send us a story that's about 3 minutes and no more than 8 minutes. You can record this on your phone and then email it to us at smalltowngenx@gmail.com. We cannot wait to hear your stories.